Hello, I'm your interviewer today, and I will be interviewing Kashan and Ahil, famous historians.
My name is Ahil, and today we will be talking about Queen Elizabeth I.
And my name is Kushan.
So, Kashan, could you give me a brief history of Queen Elizabeth I?
Queen Elizabeth I was also known as Elizabeth the Great or the Virgin Queen. Queen Elizabeth I's reign is also known as the Golden Age of English history. I think this itself is pretty self explanatory as to how successful she was. At the age of 12, she went through a lot. By this, I mean her father killed her mother. Elizabeth was Henry's daughter with his second wife. Elizabeth's birth was a disappointment for Henry as he was hoping for a son as the heir to his throne. The reason her father, Henry, had was that the mother had not yet produced a male heir. Elizabeth's father, Henry, killed a few of her stepmothers as well, and thus traumatized Elizabeth. When Henry finally did get a boy, his boy did not live long enough. However, Elizabeth was a very focused and smart girl. She continued to show her intelligence and did well in studies as well. To this day, Elizabeth I is one of the most loved monarchs of all time. Elizabeth was never married, and people believe many reasons lead up to that. Looking at her father growing up was part of the reason, and also looking at how many women died of childbirth could have also been a possible fear.
Okay, and Kashan and Ahil, would you like sharing some interesting facts about Elizabeth I?
10 fun facts. She is particularly known for her speech to encourage the troops at Tilbury at the time of the Spanish Armada in 1588. Boleyn was executed in 1536, charged with adultery and treason. At age 15, she had to listen to rumors that she had become pregnant by Thomas Seymour. Catholic Mary had such support that she succeeded to the throne without a battle. During the first part of her reign, Elizabeth worked to keep England out of expensive and dangerous foreign entanglements. In 1588, Elizabeth gave a rousing speech to troops that is said to have included the famous words, "I may have the body of a weak and feeble woman, but I have the heart and stomach of a king."
Edward's death in 1553 at the age of 15 led to a dynastic crisis. Elizabeth was satisfied with the religious settlement and wanted no more changes. She desired only outward religious conformity from her subjects and did not want to persecute people for their beliefs. During her reign, however, religion and politics became increasingly intertwined. Catholics were involved in attempts to assassinate Elizabeth to restore the old religion to England. In 1568, Mary escaped to England and was Elizabeth's enforced guest for 19 years.
So now that I've heard a lot from you, I would like to know, Kashan, your opinion, and I want to know what you disliked about Queen Elizabeth I.
After having read her and studied about her, there was two things which I not necessarily disliked, but it didn't resonate with me. One of which being Elizabeth, she never married anyone, but the reason does make sense because people believe Elizabeth's refusal to marry relates to her father and how he killed many of his wives. Elizabeth was probably traumatized looking at the kind of a man her father was. And number two, Elizabeth had always refused to name her successor.
So now that I've heard Kashan tell us what he dislikes about Queen Elizabeth I, Kashan and I, would you guys together mind sharing what you like about Queen Elizabeth I?
The things I liked about Queen Elizabeth I were she decided to be a queen for all the English and was proud to be pure English, not half Spanish like her older sister Mary. And after the religious upheavals of the previous decades, Elizabeth chose to preside over a broadly based religious settlement. During the first part of her reign, Elizabeth worked to keep England out of the expensive and dangerous foreign entanglements. Elizabeth had survived as an independent nation and was not decimated by religious civil wars. Elizabeth is one of the best known of all English monarchs, and many describe her as one of the most successful ones, as I mentioned before.
All right, that concludes the interview. Thank you, Kashan and Ayal, for being such great guests on the interview and sharing such great ideas, thoughts, and your opinions on Queen Elizabeth I. Thank you for coming here. I hope to interview you guys again soon.
Thank you for having us, Mr. Zayan. It was an honor being on your show.